In 2020, we witnessed the explosive rise of millions flocked to the site with hopes of getting filthy rich. By 2024, the company hit the absolute peak, becoming a multi-billion-dollar empire in the span of a few short years. This success was built entirely on the backs of creators lured by the promise of getting wealthy while taking control of their own bodies. With endless celebrity faces endorsing the brand, convincing young women to join was like taking candy from a baby. Millions signed up, completely unaware they had just fallen for a heavily disguised trap. While a select few at the top walked away with millions, the vast majority were left making less than minimum wage, permanently ruining their chances of ever landing a reputable job in the process. Today, we are revealing exactly how this company trapped millions of creators without them ever even knowing it, leaving them broke with a permanent stain on their reputation. While the industry this company operates in has been around since the beginning of time, they managed to do something that has never been achieved before. They were able to turn this frowned upon job, which was a backdoor under the table service, into a global, widely accepted mainstream career path that was absolutely everywhere. Women in those industries once hid their involvement out of embarrassment or shame. When it came to the site, creators openly promoted their involvement on their social platforms, often linking their page right at the top of their profiles and bragging about their multi-million-dollar earnings in interviews. The company managed to completely rewrite the stigma behind the industry, turning it into a highly desirable path for young women to get rich fast. How they did it was seriously questionable. The company utilized the same classic strategy many major corporations have been doing for years. They used the most influential people to do all the heavy lifting. This was the first step in their plan. There were three crucial steps they took to trap millions of creators. The first step was the complete rebranding of the industry. They had to find a way to remove the negative stigma behind this sort of work and make it desirable and acceptable to the average person. They did this by turning celebrities into walking billboards for their brand. By privately cutting deals with some of the biggest influential names in the world, they created the exact perspective and demand they needed to get people on the platform. In the early days of the site, we saw many celebrities jump on board to promote it. Massive rap icons like Cardi B and Hollywood stars like Bella Thorne quickly turned the site into the hot new place to get rich quick. The way they promoted the site was highly strategic and incredibly manipulative. They abandoned the traditional branding known for this industry and repackaged it as a tool for independent women to make money while taking control of their bodies. They were told that this was a liberating path to financial freedom. It was marketed by every influencer and celebrity as the ultimate way for a woman to secure a bag without needing a man. The company even started tying itself to the feminist movement. When impressionable young women saw their idols telling them this was fully accepted by society, a guaranteed way to get rich, and a method of taking back their bodies, they came rushing in, and the site grew immensely overnight. Now, it wasn't just young girls trying to make some extra money. Regular everyday women began posting on the site, with one teacher eventually getting exposed for using her middle school classroom as a set to film her content. It seemed like everybody wanted in. Once they turned the site into the hot new trend, it was time to keep people on the platform. They did this by creating the illusion that anyone can get rich, which is step 2. Not long after people started flocking to the site, creators began flexing how much they were making every chance they got. It was almost like they were advised to brag about their earnings or something. Bella Thorne famously crashed the site and made $1 million in her first 24 hours. Black China allegedly made $20 million a month at her peak, but it was Danielle Bregoli, also known as Bad Baby, who took things even further, reportedly making $4 million in her first day.
When we first started, I made $1 million in 6 hours. And by the end of the day, it was at like 4 million. Oh my God. And now, overall, the net on it is like 75.
While Bad Baby became the biggest success story, she at the same time became the most disturbing one. Her entire debut on the site relied entirely on her coming-of-age birthday, which many all over the world desperately waited for. They were so interested in seeing her cross the mark, they wasted $4 million in one day. Soon after, the success stories kept piling up. Iggy Azalea was making over $9 million a month. Lil Tay later mirrored this disturbing trend, flexing about clearing $1 million in just 3 hours immediately after joining. It seemed like everyone was making millions by posting. If reshaping the stigma...
Yeah, Lil Tay, but they said they had some shit out about her and her brother about how they they parents was holding them hostage, this, that, and the third, and oh, they didn't went missing now, this, that, and the third. Then by almost a year later, you see them pop out. Oh, we never went missing, and this, that, man, yo, all this shit weird, bro.
behind the industry was setting the trap, this is the moment when the trap snapped shut. With all of these success stories, women had the incentive they needed to post the content they were likely too embarrassed to post. Seeing these women make millions overnight gave them every reason to take that risk. Who cares if some people would judge them or if they can never get a real job again as long as they get rich? Soon, everyone with a profile was gonna be able to get rich. Well, everyone except for 99% of the people who made accounts. While some people did make millions on the site, most of those reports were proven to be extremely exaggerated, either to promote the site itself or to build their personal page by creating artificial hype. Either way, most people weren't making as much as they claimed. But the people who really weren't making any money were everyone else who didn't have a massive online following. Some celebrities easily made millions because they were already famous. Millions of people were already interested in them. But the average person with no social media followers was guaranteed to make almost no money. Statistical data from 2024 to 2026 indicates that most creators earn far less than a full-time minimum wage salary. The median account earns approximately $150 to $180 per month. Since this is the median, 50% of all creators earn this amount or less. For a full-time job in the US, even a low federal minimum wage equates to roughly $1,250 per month. Only about 3 to 4% of creators earn more than this amount. But you know who is guaranteed to make lots of money? The company. In 2024, after paying out 80% to creators, the platform retained $1.41 billion in net revenue. You may think, how did they make so much money if most creators on the platform are barely making enough in a month to cover a dinner for two? Well, they take a cut from every single person that posts, whether it be a person making 100 a month or 4 million in a month. Considering there are over 4.6 million creators on the platform, you can see how they were able to make billions of dollars quite easily. The company turned millions of women into their assets, bringing in non-stop money. While the company gets richer, the creators who are in the bottom 90% throw away their futures for a couple of dollars a day. This pushed many creators to the point of no return. Once a creator realizes they aren't making the millions they were promised, the logical choice would be to simply delete the app and walk away.
Hold up, what? So what? Hold up, wait.
Bottom 90% throw away their futures for a couple of dollars a day. Create women see how they were able to make billions of dollars quite easily. The company turned millions of women into their assets, bringing in non-stop money. While the company gets richer, the creators who are in the bottom 90% throw away their futures for a couple of dollars a day. This pushed many creators to the point of no return. Once a creator realizes they aren't making the millions they were promised, the logical choice would be to simply delete the app and walk away. But the site designed a system where leaving means facing the permanent consequences of the internet. When you make an account and post the first piece of content, your digital footprint is permanently altered. Third-party websites instantly archive everything uploaded to the platform. We all know the internet is forever. When you apply for a job after posting on the site does not work out, a simple search can lead employers directly to your profile. Not only might it be embarrassing, but in most cases, it can cost you your job. This means these creators usually have nowhere else to go. Either they stay on the site or they explore the darker traditional side of this industry. Because these average creators are barely scraping by.
Yeah, cause they was I came across a video probably like 2 months back, where they were saying where people who was on OF, like these like couple girls, and it was really this main girl that was in the media at this time where she was on like a she was on like a call with her bosses from this big ass tech company, worldwide, globally and shit. And I guess right in the middle of the call, they had found her account and immediately like kicked her from the call and sent her like an email saying that she was fired. You know, we can't have nobody like that working for our team and shit like that. So yeah, this shit get real, bro. It get real.
Making that 150 a month, desperation sets in. The platform internal ranking system heavily favors high-frequency posting
God, my
and
boy,
consistent
killing me.
engagement. To compete with the 4.6 million other creators on the site, they are forced to push their personal boundaries further and further. They start offering more extreme content for less money just to keep the few paying subscribers they manage to get. The independence they were promised completely vanishes. They become totally bound to a digital algorithm forced to consistently produce just to maintain a poverty level wage. The company essentially built a one door. They invited millions of women in with the promise of taking back their power, took their 20% cut of every single transaction, and left them permanently trapped in a digital cage they can never fully escape. Just like that, the corporations created a new thriving billion-dollar industry off the backs of small creators who would never make enough to even get by. This brings us to the third and final step of the trap. The company had gotten the creators and now needed to draw in the customers. They did this by tricking millions of lonely men into buying into a fake relationship. The platform trapped millions of young girls and simultaneously hooked a massive audience of young men. The company marketed itself as the ultimate financial solution for young women. For men, it functioned as a direct evolution of the content they were already hooked on. They trapped female creators with the promise of endless money. Likewise, they trap young lonely men with the promise of real intimate connection. Creators on traditional sites rarely interacted with the consumers of that content. But this site promised the consumers the ability to have a direct connection with these creators for a price. On this site, users could request a special video or give a big donation directly to their favorite creator with the push of a button. This created the false illusion that they had a connection with these creators. The creator, and especially the company, exploited this connection to milk every single dollar. Reports show some men tipped unbelievable amounts for private videos from these creators on top of their monthly subscription. Some of these lonely men are spending their entire paychecks on these creators. In California alone, residents spend approximately $350 million on subscription and tips in 1 year. This accounted for nearly 13% of the total US market. These young men were practically throwing their money at the site, searching for a connection they were never going to find. The sad reality is, the more they used the platform, the lonelier they became. The connection was strictly financial, leaving these young men with nothing the moment they ran out of money. They were left even lonelier than before. This unnatural relationship likely made it even harder for them to build genuine connections with people in the real world, further pushing them deeper and deeper into that content. The company created the perfect unsuspected trap. They convinced a generation of young women that selling their beauty was the peak of independence. At the exact same time, they convinced millions of young men that paying for a false digital relationship was a valid substitute for genuine human connection. Both sides were handed a carefully crafted illusion. The creators sacrificed their future reputations and potential careers for pennies. The consumers drained their bank accounts for a fleeting sense of intimacy that left them more isolated than before. While these two groups fed off each other's desperation, the corporations sat perfectly in the middle, collecting their 20% cut of every single transaction. This was a highly coordinated corporate operation. They took the oldest industry in the world, packaged it in modern empowerment marketing, and weaponized human loneliness to build a multi-billion-dollar empire. The empowerment narrative was simply the bait used to extract massive wealth from vulnerable people on both sides of the screen. This company changed the world forever, and the impact has been overwhelmingly negative. While a few celebrities got even richer, the rest were left with nothing but the reality that they were misled and tricked into abandoning their morals. Society as a whole was genuinely impacted by this industry. Many young girls are still operating off the false impression that they do not need to go to college or figure out a good career. They believe they can just go on the site and get rich. Many young men are being taught to avoid the pressure of finding real intimate connections and chase after the ones that they can buy for a few bucks. This company has fundamentally changed the way people see the world. In my opinion, the damage this is causing is irreversible. What is truly sad is that there are no signs of this stopping. Every day, more and more young girls are signing up and making the mistake of posting. Young men are putting in their credit card numbers, spending the little bit they have. At the end of it all, the company piles up billions while causing society to descend further. This is how they successfully trapped a generation and got rich while doing it. What do you think? Do you feel like the site was a negative as a whole for society, or do you think the gain outweighs the loss? Also, let me know if you would like to see a part 2 to this video where I dive deeper into the industry as a whole, revealing how it is designed to trap young people.
Unfortunately, that's above my pay grade. You know what I mean? Sad to say it like that, but just truthfully, that's just above my pay grade, dog. It's unfortunate that you know, unfortunately, this is pretty much what it done came to. You know what I mean? They, it was really and really it really ain't all about that either. Really, really, it's really, man. I don't wanna, I don't want to state my opinion too much. But in my mind, it's a digital marketing scheme, pretty much. Put it like that. Put it like that. In my mind, it's a digital marketing scheme. Um, and and it's a it's a ST ring if you can get that. If you get what I mean by that, it's a ST ring. Think about it. Because think about it. At any moment, these people on here can get invited to a yeah, let's hey, come fly out here and do some content with us. You know what I mean? And most of these girls and shit and these women on here anyway, they don't got nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why they doing what they doing. They ain't got nobody. Mama don't give a fuck. Probably ain't got no daddy. Daddy nowhere to be found. You know, shit like that. No auntie or uncle that they, feel like they should listen to or could listen to or, oh, I ain't listening to that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So, you know, most of these young girls, young women on here, they buy self anyway. So, motherfucker ain't thinking like, oh, nah, this look iffy or nah, he look a little strange or man, I really need to be doing something else with my time. You know what I mean? Like thinking that, bro. They thinking that, oh man, I can get on here play with my puss, have him play with my puss for 30 minutes, get $2,000. You know what I mean? This shit more than this, man. Shit more than this. This shit more than this, dog. You know what I mean? But like I say, man, it's above my pay grade. I just state my opinion and let that be it. But check it, man. Y'all drop in the chat, y'all drop in the comment section and let me know what y'all think. You know, because sometimes, man, I just, I don't be really knowing. I just speak on what what I feel and how I feel about it. But yeah, man, that's it for me, man. It ain't been a long day, but it's been kind of a long day. I slept for hours. I'm about to do the same thing. Um, Cause I need it, bro. I need it. It's the end of the month. We ain't slacking up, but we kind of slacking up. We ain't got nothing but 3 or 4 more days. So, you know, we gonna ride it on out for these last couple of days, man. We did what we needed to do. What was that? What that was? But I don't know what the hell that was. But y'all be good, man. I'm gone, man. I'm out. Peace.